Let him go get it. Yeah. Then it's him, the mighty fisherman.
This is a story of carelessness and guilt, of people who lived at extremes. A story of one family, my own. A family that had everything, grace and joy, and a fair share of beauty, privilege, and power. My mother was a star, Margaret Sullivan, a shining idol of her generation. My father was Leland Hayward, a producer, agent, rich, glamorous, a legend himself. They were happily married for 10 years and had 3 children in even succession. They seemed to be the fulfillment of the American dream. But things went dreadfully wrong. Other people marry and divorce, leaving other children angry and disturbed. What distinguishes this particular story is the extraordinary effect my parents had on their children. They failed as they succeeded on a massive scale, and we outlived our happiness. How could it happen to us? Why? By 1960, my father and mother had been divorced over 12 years and both remarried. My father was living in New York. My mother and stepfather, Kenneth, were in New Haven, where mother was rehearsing her new play. I had already started a career of my own and was playing the lead in an off-Broadway play. I was on my way to the theater that night. Would you ring room 821, please? Kenneth, it's Brooke. I just wanted to wish you and Mother a Happy New Year. Is she there? Can she come through the phone?
Maggie? Maggie? Maggie, please. Maggie! Open the door.
What?
now know without a doubt that I really loathe it, that I just loathe what it does to my life.
My God, Maggie, you look good.
Hello, Leland. Are you hungry? We can eat any time.
Well, I warned you.
Maggie, for God's sake.
It is not a parent's job to be popular. You have no guts for the job.
Am I beautiful? Am I terrific?
You are perfect.
Why did Mother have to die? Just as all my fearful battles with her for my own independence had been fought, and just as we were able to be friends as well as a mother and daughter, she had thrown away her life when I needed her so. Father's secretary, Sarah. Poor Sarah. She always had to bear the bad news.
Your father's asked me to bring you home. Your father's canceled the play.
What? He's got no right to do that. This is my play. Now, he's not even the producer.
He did it out of respect for your mother.
She was my mother. I needed her. And I wanted her. He's hardly even seen her in the past 12 years. What was she to him? Just one of his ex-wives?
No, we don't know yet. I definitely think a memorial service in Greenwich. That makes some sense. She lived there, after all. Well, hell, I don't know what that Ken's doing. He's having a nervous breakdown or something. Hey, listen, Brooke just walked in. Yeah, right.
I want to go up in an airplane.
We're on our way, kids. On our way. Hey, look. Doing a stunt for you. Look, doing a loop-de-loop. Atta boy. Oh my God, pull it out. For God's sake, pull back on the stick.
Don't look, children, please. Don't look.
Leland, darling, let's go home.
Nope, we're going up. I promised them they could go up in my airplane, and that's what we're going to do, right?
Right.
Maggie? Remember this, kids. If you're ever in an accident you can walk away from, car, horse, airplane, whatever, keep going, even if you're scared to death. If you don't, you'll be so scared you'll never do it again. Brooke. Little Brooke. You were the most beautiful baby I ever saw.
Clear case of paternal prejudice.
Hey, get me a drink, will you, babe? Actors. This life. She was desperate about the play. She hated herself in it. The deafness was getting worse. She couldn't hear on stage. She wasn't sleeping. She had a doctor give her a shot so she could sleep this afternoon. Kenneth went out to see the producers to buy her way out of the show. When he got back, the door was locked from the inside. She had some sleeping pills. And there's only 2 missing.
Maybe she just grabbed a couple and went to sleep.
And why'd she lock the door? They had to kick it in. She's lying on the bed.
I don't believe she would have done it herself. Not over some stupid play.
Yeah, I keep thinking I'm gonna wake up. And it's gonna be like it used to be.
Help! Help!
What happened?
Dim-witted mother just stuck the brush right in her eye.
Are you crying?
Oh, no, darling. Just smarts is all. Dumb.
Do you want your eye drops?
No, thank you, Cleo. I'll just sit here and suffer for a minute. Oh. I am not cut out for this profession. Actresses are supposed to love putting makeup on and pretending to be somebody else 6 nights a week. I hate it.
Do you really, Mother?
Oh, Brooke. If this were my very last performance of my very last play ever, I would be the happiest woman on earth. I'd scoop you up at the end, and I'd take you back to the hotel and wake up Bridget and Belle. And then I'd take you all straight home to your father. And I'd never, ever again want to be anybody except his Maggie and your mama. Not even for an instant.
5 minutes, Miss Sullivan.
Thank you. Our master's voice.
Is that the same one that yelled half hour and 15 minutes?
And in a minute, he'll be back yelling places. Monotonous, isn't he?
What's places?
Oh, just means I have to take my place on the stage. Darling, do you really want to see this play?
I know I promised you could because you're a great big girl of 6 now and it's Christmas. But I'd really much rather you wouldn't. I'd much rather you just know me the way I am at home. Or any place but here.
Oh, your heart's set on it, isn't it?
All right. But promise me you'll remember that it's all just make-believe. The man you'll see me with is an actor. And we just pretend that we care for each other. And whatever I say or do on the stage, don't you forget for an instant that I'm really your mother. And it's your father I love. And you and Bridget and Bill. Nobody else.
The weather has changed. The rain is over. The winter is past. And the voice of the turtle is heard in the land.
What did you say?
Oh, I was quoting the Bible.
Oh, turtles don't have voices, do they?
Sally, you're very sweet. I haven't the faintest idea what goes on in that funny little head of yours, but you're very sweet. autograph. Oh, yeah. Autograph, Mr. Sullivan. Autograph, Mr. Sullivan, please.
I'm going to retire.
How could you?
Quit. Only crazy people would get up and make a fool of themselves in front of large groups of strangers. Actors get to think there's something special and they get stuck up. Everybody around them suffers. Because actors do not make good mothers and fathers. I see it all the time. They get used to being the center of attention. And a good mother makes her child the center. It's too hard.
I think you're the best mother there is anywhere.
You always wear that same tie clip. Had that as long as I can remember.
Not the same. I keep losing them. Cartiers must be into me for a couple of dozen by now. Yeah.
My experience of death was so limited. Who had died since I was 3 and was pulled screaming and hysterical from the theater when Bambi's mother was shot? Just old people whose grasp on life was weak. Not like mothers, alive and full of force one day and gone the next. I was deep in my private grief. Then the ritual gathering began. We had to comfort the sorrow of others because she belonged to... Who did she belong to? To us, to her public. Once she had belonged passionately, angrily to herself alone, and went to extremes to keep her private life and public separate.
Am I just a pack mule or am I the brains of this outfit?
Go to the bathroom.
Oh, Bill, now?
Awful bad.
But, darling, there's no... Oh, honey, just go over there behind those bushes, okay? But quickly.
Mother, that's so embarrassing. Why do you let him do that?
Well, I think the alternatives might be worse.
Excuse me, but are you...
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Children, why don't we find another spot? We'll just be explorers and follow our noses and see where it leads us, okay, Bill?
Who did you think you were, Mother?
Someone else.
I want to see the elephant tree.
All right, but first, your flag in here. You're going to put this on your tombstone. Bill Hayward, rest in peace. Your fly's done. Come on, Beatles. Let's go. Come on. Here we go. Now, this is a very special fountain. This is the wishing fountain, okay? Everybody gets a coin. And there you go. 1, 2, 3. Now you close your eyes, grip tight, and think of a very special wish. Under there. Oh. Ah.
Why are you following us?
I know, you're Margaret Sullivan.
Well, you're mistaken. Will you please leave us alone?
I didn't mean to bother you. I've always loved you in the movies. 3 Comrades was my favorite. I couldn't believe my eyes back there when you walked past me. Would you please sign your name in my book?
Now, look. Even if I were who you think I am, which I've told you twice I'm not, so you should have taken the hint by now, but even if I were, I would be honor bound to tell you that to me, there is nothing sillier than this notion that if you get somebody's signature on a little piece of paper, you somehow get a little piece of that person. You don't, you know, because nobody can give themselves away bit by bit like that. sorry. I'm not the person you see up there on the screen. I just want to be alone with my children.
I believe she was sorry, Mother.
Yes, so am I. That was just plain bad manners. I don't know what got into me. Your mother is thoroughly ashamed of herself.
Are you crying? Mouse, mouse, come out of your hole. I will give you a golden hole.
Now, those wishing to know more about the magic and mysteries of life, follow me. Woo! Yeah, they round him up in Times Square every Thursday afternoon.
Right down here in Times Square?
Mm-hmm.
Well, where do they pasture?
Just let him run loose in the streets.
Cut! Print!
Night, Jimmy.
Good night.
That's it! It's a wrap here!
That's it, Maggie, darling. Thank you for
Good
your
weekend,
patience.
everybody.
Has everybody got their call sheets for Monday?
Goodness. Get to the kids' party on time.
Yeah. But look, this is a supporting part. It's not...
Mother hated the Hollywood life. The gossip, the scheming, the sentences full of I and me and Leland eternally on the telephone.
Some, theatrical hotel, Knickerbocker or something. I don't know. See if you can make it out of that. I can't... Oh, Maggie, for heaven's sake, that was
Leland Hayward on phone. Now, Christmas is coming. I'm going to buy you a dummy phone to hold just like a security plate. Now, come on.
In Mother's mind, she was a working mother, fighting to make time for the family, to go to the market and mend socks. We had no idea she was a star. We weren't even allowed to see her movies. All we knew, she was gone for weeks or months and then reappeared like a comet. The dull days came alive with her energy. Picnics, hikes, excitements. A birthday party for a child was what life was about. So she produced ponies, monkeys, magicians, cake, games, presents for children driven to the party by chauffeurs. But there was no escape from the starlight.
Oh, Margaret Sullivan, lovely Meg. Tell me the reason, pray, that you spell your name, oh bewitching dame, Sullivan with an A.
Please, never mind that. This is the kids' day. Now, just do your tricks for them, all right?
All right. Okay, kids, when I snap my fingers, all of you are going to disappear.
I only wanted to be alone, but funerals bring families scattered across the world back together. Groping for words like strangers, there were only two who really mattered. Although I'd seen little of them in the past few years, the two people I loved most in the world were my sister Bridget and my brother Bill.
Who's your tailor?
It was the best I could do. I don't have a dark suit, and I didn't stop to buy one.
Nice work.
Thank you.
You go on. I'll go with the Logan and see you back in town.
Father looked awful. It made me glad. It made me think that maybe he had never stopped loving her. Maybe he was the last thing that she thought about. It was possible. Bree? It's been a long time. I'm glad to see you.
Are you?
Come here.
Do I squeeze you to there.
Oh, my. Uncle.
Sing to me.
Oh, my funny old voice.
Please, Mother.
Hush up, don't you cry. Go to sleepy little baby. When you wake, you shall have all the pretty little horses.
Not my horses, she won't.
Darling, it's only a small. All the pretty little horses just means you'll get your wish. Whatever you want, that's all.
I don't want her playing with my things.
Darling, you're going to be a big girl of 8 soon. Now, don't you think you're old enough to share your things with your sister? You love her, don't you?
Yes, I hate her too.
No, you don't mean that.
She never lets me play with anything of hers. She has a fit if I even open the door to her closet.
Now, tell the truth. You love her more than you hate her, don't you?
I love her and hate her about the same. I heard that. Damn you, Brooke.
I feel like we failed. I failed. Being a star wasn't enough to keep her alive. Why couldn't we be enough for her? Why couldn't she love us enough to stay alive for us?
It was her life. She had a right to do with it what she wanted.
No, she didn't. It was our life together. She was always selfish about doing whatever she wanted to do. Why did she move us from California? Pop's whole life was there. But she had a whim.
Maggie, it's gorgeous.
They love it. They do. Try to love it.
Well, you know, this is no weekend hideaway. I thought when the play was over, you were coming home to California.
But that's exactly what I've done. This is home. I knew it the minute I saw it. I was driving by, and I said, now, there is a house I have always wanted to live in. So I went up to the front door, even though it was Sunday, and Mrs. Curtis came to the door and said it was miraculous. I must be psychic, because she was going to put the house up for sale that week.
Absolutely, it is a miracle.
You hate it.
But what am I supposed to say? I don't hate it. No, I'm a little confused. I mean, why all of a sudden, when the play is over, you don't have anything more to do, do you want to live here?
Because I hate making movies, and I love this place. And Hollywood is a phony, rotten place to bring up kids. It's everything I detest.
And well, most of my clients are out there, and the kids do have friends there, the Fondas.
The Fondas are moving east.
Oh, great, great. I'll have 2 clients on the East Coast. Maggie, you're happy here.
Oh.
That's what's important to me. All I need is a phone. Goodbye, California. Where is the phone?
Oh, what do you need a phone for? I can do it for you.
Hello, Leland. You said I would have to have Billy. What's Marcy doing about my name?
Oh, Leland, darling, you promised me $5,000 a week. You know I cannot leave on $4,500. It's in the barn.
You're kidding. You're not kidding.
There's chicken in the barn!
Chicken? You know, all an agent is a high-class pimp peddling other people's talent. And the one nice thing about being a high-class pimp is that you get to meet a terrific class of girls. Maggie, this is the most honest-to-God revolting idea you've ever had.
Leland, I told you to shut up. Now, the children understand. They know that man is a carnivorous animal, just like the fox, and if the fox wants a chicken for his dinner, he's got to kill it first. It's part of nature's law. Okay, come on, Andrew, you show me how.
Now listen to me, Maggie. I give you fair warning. I am going to throw up right here on the spot if you go through with this.
Now, would you just listen to the man? This is the man who can't get through one single day without a great big old juicy New York cut steak. Now, do you suppose that bloody piece of flesh just appears in the icebox by magic? Or would you prefer to think the tooth fairy left it there?
I'd prefer not to think about it at all. If I did, I wouldn't eat anything. You know, I am satisfied to leave the job to people who are qualified for it. I don't come down here among the bulls with my silly little hatchet.
Well, it would be a lot more honest if you did.
Maggie.
Andrew.
Ma'am, now you, just lay her out like that.
Yeah?
Yeah? Then, you bring it down right like that. One clean stroke. Well, just about there.
Right.
Don't look.
Everybody remember what I told you. The chicken may flap around for a minute or two afterwards, but that's only because its nervous system continues to twitch involuntarily, just like a worm's or snake's.
Dr. Sullivan, the painless headsman.
But in fact, it is already dead and definitely not feeling any pain. You'll see. There's nothing really very awful about it when it's a question of necessity.
For God's sake, Maggie.
Okay, now everybody watching. Brooke. Now just look at how brave your brother and sister are being. One.
Think about something wonderful. Vanilla ice cream with chocolate sauce.
2. 3. I am guilty of growing old, losing my sense of fun. Brooke is sensitive and shy, and I have cowed her and frightened her. Leland loves his airplanes and his friends, and I have taken away his pleasure in them. I am becoming a tyrant. I must have fun with them. And to hell with discipline. I will find their confidence again. On my sacred word of honor. I must repeat that to myself every day.
Talking to yourself. I knew it would come to this, living in the jungles of New England.
Do I detect the note of sarcasm?
Nope. Has the times come yet?
No. You have to get along without it. Be self-reliant.
Time to make bread.
Perfect.
Let's go down to the Keys, Maggie. Charter a boat. Just the two of us.
Now, you know we're not going to do that. I have to get ready for London.
I thought this was home, Maggie. Never more to grow. 6 months in the country, and you have to do the play in London.
Well, it's all over in New York, and they want me in London.
Damn it, I moved here for you. I feel you're deserting me.
Oh, nonsense. I just feel like an old pair of socks. I need work. The work's in London.
Mine was in California.
Oh! Oh!
Ignore it, kid. Act like it didn't happen.
Oh, you did that on purpose.
Are you kidding? A sneeze like that? I'd have to be Billy Gilbert. And even then, you wouldn't get half the moisture.
Oh, louse. You're not even enjoying making your bread, and your mind's on your work, and your heart's in your old airplane.
Maggie, the country gives me hay fever, that's all. I didn't do that to annoy you. I have a physical condition.
You give in to it.
No, I don't. I fight it damn hard for you.
I thought our memories would draw us together. We could be as we were when we were kids. But it wasn't that way. Each of us pursued our private search in memories that didn't bring comfort. Only anger and despair.
The river's almost totally frozen.
I always thought the only way to resolve my struggle with Mother was to go down there and push her in the river. And jump in after her and drown.
Goodbye, darling. Thank you so much for bringing me Becky.
Now, let me know how you like it.
Oh, I will.
Drive carefully. See you soon.
Certainly will. Bye-bye. Bye. Bridget, where is she?
Upstairs.
Bridget? Bridget Hayward? You come down here this minute.
What do you want?
I said down. How dare you behave in that sullen way in front of a guest?
Sullen?
You never said a word all through lunch. Never said one word the whole time Miriam was here. You just sat there and picked at your food.
I had nothing to say to her.
Don't you shout at me.
You're shouting at me.
Can't imagine what she must have thought of you. Such a peevish, unfriendly child.
Mother. Not 10 minutes before she rang the bell, you said, "Good gooby, what an old bore Miriam is." Then the minute she got here, you were hugging her and kissing her, insisting she stay for lunch. I mean, is that what you consider good manners?
That is what I mean by behaving like a civilized, well-brought-up person, yes.
Well, I'm sorry. It's what I consider behaving like a hypocrite. I mean, I don't think much of this stuff about Southern charm and graciousness if it means being super nice to somebody you can't stand and then screaming and shouting at somebody you're supposed to love.
Unkind, inconsiderate, not to mention hypocritical. Well, if that's a fair description of me, perhaps you'd be happier living with your father.
Oh, no, don't start that again. Mother, you can't say that every time we have an argument just to make me feel bad. Damn it, it won't work anymore.
She never cursed at me before. She's growing up so very fast.
Her case, I'd say it's a good thing. I think we all find it entirely too easy to treat Bridget like a baby.
You're all growing up. And I'm getting old.
You?
Yeah, it's true. I'm getting old. Losing my sense of fun and taking my responsibilities too seriously. I'm becoming a tyrant.
Oh, come on.
Oh, believe me, it's no fun playing a policeman.
Being a parent, you mean?
Yeah. I hope you and I are over the worst of it.
I hope so.
Yeah, well, don't flatter yourself you were the only one that disappointed her. So did I. Brooke didn't, though.
We had our moments.
Oh, now don't try to muscle in on our territory.
I wish you'd tell me what I've done to upset you.
No, it's nothing. Don't mind me. I was just steamed that I didn't have a dark suit for the ceremony. Thought it was really charming of Leland to make such a big deal out of it. It's just that nothing between him and me ever works. It never works.
Well, that's what seems to be the trouble.
The only trouble, Doctor, seems to be that I'm here.
Let's get this straight, for God's sake. You were carrying a loaded .45 at school. I didn't make that up.
I collect guns.
Against the rules. You were getting fired out of there anyway. There was the drinking.
Okay, so you did your homework. Thanks for taking such an interest in me. I didn't know you cared.
Your father,
is only trying to do what is best for you.
Why can't I just come home with you? I'll go to public school like anyone else.
You're not like anyone else. Only a prep school could get you into a decent college. Tried living at home, it didn't work out.
You see, part of your problem is you do not see that there is a problem. You wear everybody out. That's too much for your father and mother to handle. So, we're going to ask that you stay here for a while.
No way. I got a job and a girl in Oklahoma.
We're not asking you to stay.
Leland, what's to stop me from walking right out that door?
I am.
I can't even cry. What's the matter with me? Brooke has a husband, 2 nice little kids and a career, and Bridget and Bill keep bouncing in and out of these incredibly expensive nut houses.
You jerk. Why did that goon frisk me before he let me come in here? Are you an armed suspect? He felt me up and down, and quite clumsily, I might add. And he not only went through my purse, but he held up my gum wrappers to the light.
Razor blades, possibility of suicide.
Are you kidding? Yeah. Over. Father said you wouldn't talk to them here.
They promised me I'd be here for 1 night, and that was 2 weeks ago. So why should I? They tricked me.
That's a dumb way to get revenge.
I'm not revenging myself. And I'm not paranoid. I'm really here. I mean, this is actually happening to me. They've taken my clothes, my wallet, all my goodies, and they're keeping me on a steady diet of sleeping pill.
He said if you didn't cooperate with them here, they'll have to send you somewhere else.
Yeah, Menninger's Clinic, a funny farm out west. Real nice. Movies, if you're good, co-educational. Real tough to get into, but even tougher to get out.
Hey, listen. Don't you think
They
that...
send you here to reason with me? You know me too well for that.
I just think you're being dumb. If I were you, I'd be talking a mile a minute to Father. Or Leland, as you now choose to call him.
I have not one word to say to Leland.
Why bring all that up, Bill? It's better to forget.
I try.
Work it out with him before it's too late. The thing that bothers me... Can I ever forgive myself for what I didn't say to Mother while there was still time? Okay, it's your loss if you won't.
You remember what Pop used to say about the country?
What?
He said, the country's a damp sort of place where birds fly about uncooked.
How he hated it. Die of the cold, come on.
The car! Mommy, Mommy! The car! Car's here! George brought the car back from being fixed! Can't we come and see you off?
No, Brooke, darling. Now, we agreed. No sad faces and no goodbyes. I'll be back before you know it.
Sure, what's a little thing like 6 months after all?
6 months? It's gonna go like 6 weeks. You'll see. Especially when school's out and you have all day to swim and play.
I thought we were going to spend summer together.
No, now, Bill. Darling, you know you're going to spend the summer with Father. You said last night how pleased you were.
Maybe you won't like it in England. Pop says they still have all that rationing and stuff, just like during the war. Maybe you want to turn right around and come home.
Or maybe they won't like the play. Same one you saw in New York, you know. Quite a perfect little play about nothing. The British may just take one look and say, oh, dear, frightfully sorry, and send me packing.
I hope they do.
Oh, thanks, partner. Well, now, as previously agreed, one hug and a kiss for everybody, and then off I scoot. No tears, no corny last-minute speeches. Bill? Oh. Bridge? Oh. I seem to have lost a child somewhere. Oh, darling, I'm afraid I've read that one.
It's not to read. It's to stick under your right buttock like the doctor told you to. So your spine will be straight when you sit down.
Well, now, what a good thought. Bear hug.
Till I squeeze you to death.
Oh. Good gooby, I give up.
Please don't go.
Hush.
Please?
Leland, I have a contract. You made the deal. Hug and a kiss and toodaloo.
Oh, Meg. For God's sake, don't go.
You're breaking the rule. Toodaloo. Bye.
She didn't even wait.
We waited for Mother to come back from England while Father tried to manage us, his clients in California, and his plays in New York, the Toscanini of the telephone.
Josh? Look, for heaven's sake, what have you done? I've got Mishner on the other phone, and he tells me that you talked to Dick Rogers and Oscar Hammerstein about the South Pacific book. You idiot. Yes, all right. No, it's just the kids out in the car, all right. Yeah, they're crazy about it. Sure, they've already talked to him about the rights. Now, instead of them working for us, that means we've got to take them on as partners. All right, hold on a sec. Jim, I have good news. Mr. Logan agrees that we could do this in partnership with Rogers and Hammerstein. Yeah. Could you give me a couple of days to work up a proposition we could all live with? Fine, thank you. I'll be back. Josh, old friend, from now on, I'll take care of the business and you take care of the actors. Yeah. No, it'll be all right. I'll fix it. Bye. Ice cream. Okay. The first one that finds me a snake wins the gonfalon.
What's a gonfalon?
Find me a snake and you'll find out.
Snake!
Oh, what do you say? Does it live or die?
No, don't kill it, don't kill it,
Oh, boy. I hate the damn things. I must be getting weak.
You're sneezing.
The phone cured it.
Well, what's the gonfalon?
Hey, that's right. You saw the snake first. You make a wish.
What's yours? You make one for me.
Stop time. Stay right here for the rest of our lives. When I was 10 years old.
What?
Huh?
When you were 10 years old, what?
Worst thing that ever happened to me.
What, Pop?
My mother divorced my father. Ruined my whole life, really. At least what was left of my childhood. I never forgave my mother. Never understood. Cut me in half. Hey, that's one thing you're never gonna have to go through.
Promise.
I promise.
Want a pub? You two are so childish.
The voice of experience.
Come on, we borrowed it from Emily. That's stealing.
You never take anything that doesn't belong to you, I suppose?
No, I don't.
That's rich. My horses were all messed around with on the shelf this morning. And if I ever catch you playing around with them again without asking permission, I'm gonna scalp you.
I always ask. Bill, may I use your watercolors, please? No, you get them all mixed up.
Bill has a toilet. Bill has a wee-wee. Bill smells terrible. Hey! Who knows where my tie pin is? Come on, kid. Tell me your dress. I'm late, and I can't find the stuff to make me beautiful. Someone remind me to phone Cartier's to send over another tie pin.
Who's gonna be there?
The same old crowd. Jimmy Stewart's, Wanda's. Ah, thank you, my man. I hope you will go on caring for me when I'm old and doddering around in financial ruin.
Father, we'll never make enough to take care of you.
Lord knows it won't be easy. Hey, what are you going to do when you grow up?
I'm gonna be a painter and a writer.
No hope there. Disaster. I'll starve. Bree?
I don't know.
Another disaster. Bill, you are my only hope.
Oh, if Armin were the president of the United States.
Hopeless. I make more money than the president. I also spend more money than the president.
Yes, you do spend more.
No, my boy, my advice to you is marry a rich woman while you're at it. For the sake of your beloved old pa.
Are they related to us?
Who?
The both of us.
Why?
Because they are rich.
No, no relation. Except kind of by marriage. Your mother was married to their father for a little while. But that was long ago.
Were you married to anyone before Mother?
Yeah. But it didn't last.
Will you and Mother last?
He didn't answer me. But I thought it was only because, well, like me, he couldn't imagine anything else. That was our last summer of childhood innocence. With Mother in England doing the play, and Father away for weeks in California, New York, Hawaii, we were left on our own, except for the company of Emily. Father never managed the promised visit to Mother in England. And although letters, postcards, telegrams arrived for us in constant succession, it was the first time the family had really been apart. Somehow life was never as bright again.
They were all over everything. We stuck them down in Chili's shirt. Father paid us to put them in jars with salt in the bottom so that all this bubbly green slime came oozing all over. And they all shriveled up and died.
Oh, that's lovely, darling. I'm glad you waited till I finished eating before you told me.
And a live rattlesnake was under Pop's windowsill one morning. He looked down and he threw up all over it.
Well, now, doesn't anybody have anything appetizing to report?
I saw three beetles.
All right, not all at once.
You were missed, you see. Yeah. It's not enough for you to go around.
Well, we have lots of time to catch up. Just think of all the things I have to tell you about England. Now, that'll take days and days. Emily, have the children eaten?
They were too excited. But I'm keeping supper warm for them.
All right, well, that'll be all then. Thank you, Emily.
Are we excused?
Do you want to be?
No, I wondered if you and Pop wanted to be alone.
Well, actually, I'd like you all just to stay where you are for a few minutes. A sort of family conference, you might say.
Is it something we did?
No, it's nothing you did, darling. None of you. Actually, it's about your father and me. What I have to say is kind of sad and unpleasant, but certainly not the end of the world. Your father and I are going to stop being married for a while to see how we feel. We're not talking about immediate divorce. This is not the same. We just want to live apart until we find out whether we do want a divorce. It changes nothing in our feelings about you. We love you all, always. Both of us. As always. Forever.
Father, you can't let this happen. You made me a promise.
I make promises too hard to keep.
Are you leaving right away?
How far are you going? What city will you live in?
Are you going to live in a hotel?
Do you have to take all your clothes with you?
Is it another woman?
Usually in such a close household, you'd have some idea. It shocked me. Never heard them fighting. Just a little normal wear and tear. Stop playing with your food, Bridget.
Now, that just shows you what wonderful parents you have. They kept their problems to themselves.
Do I have to drink all my milk now?
Shut up, Bill. You're interrupting.
What's the matter with the milk? And secondly, young lady, we'll have no shut up here. Manners.
Be quiet, then.
It's warm.
We've let it sit around for a half an hour. No wonder.
Who's interrupting now?
Who asked you to butt in?
There's yellow stuff on the top.
Children, you have a right to be snippy. Now, tomorrow, that's going to be a very hard day for your mother. So we must all treat her extra special nice.
Oh, Emily, we know that. Is still awake. Could it be so kind as to get in bed with his two sisters? It would be much appreciated. They went to sleep.
Hold on.
Do you love him?
Brooke, honey, it's over.
Do you hate him? I want to know.
I can't answer that. It's complicated. Both. Neither.
Does he love you?
Well, perhaps not in quite the same way as he used to.
If he could stop loving you, he could stop loving us.
No. Darling, he'll never stop loving you.
Because you're perfect.
I am not perfect.
Yes, you are. You're the best mother anybody ever had. Wherever you are, it's the most fun and the best place to be.
Oh, my gosh. Listen, darling.
Is she pretty?
What makes you ask that?
I don't know. When he wanted to buy the farm and other times. He said if you left him alone too long in California, just better watch out. Some Hollywood glamour girl might get her hooks into him.
Yes, well, can't say I wasn't warned, can I?
Is she a glamour girl?
She's very pretty.
Prettier than you?
Oh, good, yes, a whole lot prettier.
I don't believe it.
You're just used to me.
What's her name?
Her name is Nancy. But a lot of people call her Slim because she's wonderfully tall and pretty. Thin. Very nice. Funny. And she dresses beautifully. You'll like her.
Kill her.
Oh, I hope not. Rather rude to kill one's stepmother, and you know what store I set on good manners.
She's gonna be our stepmother?
Probably.
But if she was dead, Pop would just naturally come back to you.
Brooke, you are just going to have to resign yourself to the fact that there's no chance of that ever happening. After all, sugar, I got my pride. I mean, if there's one thing us Southern belles have got, it is pride, pride, and more pride.
But if you still love him?
Well, if I do, I'll just have to get over it, won't I? I'll just have to find myself another beau and hope for better luck. Bridget, do let Mr. Wegg eat without feeling like he's in a sideshow.
Kenneth, isn't it silly to waste your money staying in a hotel? You could marry Mother and live here with us.
Well, nothing would give me greater pleasure, but unfortunately your mother...
Brooke, I'm going to have to explain the conventions of courtship to you.
Mother, I never saw you blush before.
Oh.
If the house isn't big enough, maybe we could all move into a hotel.
The house is big enough. If Mother and Kenneth share a room.
Children, enough. You're going to chase him right out of here. He's not used to pressure like this from children. Or anyone.
You know, I think they're absolutely right. But the person you've got to convince is your mother. Now, I can see that you've got some influence. So I'm going to enlist your help.
Maybe I ought to remind you all before you get too delighted with yourselves and utterly carried away that I am not yet a gay divorcee, so don't count your chickens.
Maybe he has a girlfriend. A secret girlfriend in London.
Oh,
He doesn't stand a chance. I'll have my revenge. 30 years from now, when he least expects it, I'll haunt him. He'll be sitting on his broad bottom next to his buck-toothed wife, the woman he so callously left me for that terrible winter so long ago. And he'll be sitting there having his cup of tea in front of his sooty coal grate when my youthful ghost will rise slowly from the ashes and twine itself around his body.
Children, it's up to you. That concludes the bequest to Brooke. Now we come to Bridget. As you can see, she dealt with you chronologically. Each of you was special and indispensable to her. To my beloved daughter, Bridget, I bequeath and bequest.
Kenneth, do we have to now?
Well, I don't know. It all seems so pointless without her. Maggie? Well, that's over. That's all there is.
God, Lord, there's a lot of our stuff here. Look at this.
Do you know what this is? It's all Mother. Look at this. The brightest light on Broadway. Dietrich, Garbo, Hepburn. Now it's Margaret Sullivan. What a funny thing to do. Make a scrapbook and hide it all away. Look, Bree. Look here. She sneaked in another marriage on us. She was married to William Wyler once. We better put all this stuff away before she finds out. Are you kidding? I'm gonna go through every one.
Your last birthday, before we all went off to boarding schools, Mother gave you the doll, remember? And I said, for heaven's sakes, Mother, she's 14 years old. And she said, well, that was what you asked for.
A last-ditch effort to prolong my childhood.
Puberty, stay away from my door.
I was your little baby. You and she were always pals.
Mother was reluctant to see us grow up and let us out of her sight. She was particularly difficult when it came time for us to visit Father.
Please. Thank you very much. Now, there is no need to get uppity, miss.
I'm not. I just don't see what the big deal is if Father wants to buy us something once in a while when we visit him.
If Leland earned $1 million a year, he'd spend $1.5 million.
That's his affair, isn't it?
No, Tyler. It is my affair when he sends you back with expensive cameras that would take you months to save up for around home. Months of washing the car, mowing the lawn. It's really quite unfair.
Unfair?
You heard me. I don't want you getting the false impression that money is easy to come by, or that it can buy a good life. And I certainly don't want you thinking that it can buy love.
Mother, he's not trying to buy our love. He already knows we love him.
He knows we adore him.
Oh, my. Such vehemence. Perhaps you should have packed your winter things. You could move right in. I hope you have a good time. I miss you.
Honestly, Maggie is such a tightwad.
Oh, Leland.
Oh, I'm sorry, kids. I should have said I am really thrilled by your mother's idea of what to wear on a summer day in Los Angeles, Kel chic. Say, what is that anyway? Recycled horsehair?
She said it might be cool at night.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Sometimes it gets as low as 65 degrees. Leonard, we will make a little detour while the shops are still open.
You better not.
Well, I'll be damned if I'll take you to the Bel Air looking like little orphan Annie.
Mother made us swear a solemn oath, no expensive presents this time.
Clothes aren't presents, for cripe's sake. They're necessities. How's your mother?
She's fine.
Terrific.
But she was the one that wanted to get married. She was the one that wanted to make marriage the whole focus of her life, and she was the one that insisted on the divorce. Most impossible woman I ever knew, and the most delicious.
Delicious?
Yeah, in the beginning. Wild kind of humor, kind of offbeat, naughty. Yeah, until I slipped a wedding ring on her finger, and then the naughty part went right out the window. The Holy Mother. I wonder if it ever occurred to her that she practically drove me into Nan's arms.
Not bad driving.
No, I can't say I regret that part of it. Not now. The point is, it needn't have happened if she hadn't been so damn pig-headed. So what the hell is this? Postmortems? We were talking about you and your first bra. What a pleasure it is to take you out when I don't have to spoon feed you and take you to the bathroom.
Huh? What a thing to remember.
Well, it's hard to forget. It was damned embarrassing.
Catch that? She's such a flirt.
Now, Bridget.
She's just like Mother, and she doesn't even know it.
She always seems so bright and sensible.
Appearances count for nothing in this family.
You mean to tell me I've been deceived by you?
I don't know. I don't know what you think of me.
Shall I tell you?
Sure. You think I'm a little weird, don't you? Everybody does.
I think you are very special.
Special meaning different.
Do I get to finish?
I'm sorry.
I think you are really very beautiful.
Not like Brooke.
You have got to stop referring everything to your sister. When you grow into yourself, you're going to be the swan of all time. And if you were to ask my advice, I'd say, just be patient.
You mean that?
It's not only me. Lots of people sense that in you.
Nobody ever told me that before.
You're going your separate ways to school. That's your chance to fly, Bree. Your chance to fly.
For a while that year, we tasted freedom. finding out we could live on our own without Maggie's fierce smothering. For Bridget, it was glorious. She found her first boyfriend, real boyfriend. Her French was fluent, and she had taken up skiing with a passion. She desperately wanted permission to remain in Switzerland for her senior year, with the idea that eventually she might go to the Sorbonne or the University of Geneva.
Well, I'll be out there, and will we get out there around October to make it?
We'll be back from Paris, then.
Fine. You know, I see...
Dear Bridget, Madeira School is better on the whole this year, but being a senior is both fun and difficult. I enjoy privileges and prestige, but on the other hand, I loathe setting an example to the rest of the school.
I assume you did not, Mr. Welsh, because I get the impression that while you are quite an actor, you play for a laugh.
Which leads me, Bill, to this latest report from your headmaster. He says that although tests rank you in the upper quarter of the school, your actual grades put you in the lowest quarter.
Look, you've got Cagney, Fonda, the biggest hit on Broadway, and you're starting to nickel and dime it with stunts and costume. Look, if it's a hit, nobody cares how much it costs, and if it flops, all they know is it flopped, so forget the budget. Okay? Okay. Oh. Sarah, get me some of that garbage I have to drink, will you?
Yes, Mr. Haley.
Well, I don't know why I take these things. When the quacks admit they don't know what's wrong with me. Thank you.
Welcome.
Dear Bridget, kiddo, if you haven't made plans for Easter vacation, Nan and I will see you in Paris.
Dear Mother, I'm writing this to beg you. Please reconsider your decision to have me come home for my senior year.
Dear Bridget, if you knew how much you were missed around here, you wouldn't insist on staying in Europe. To get into a decent American college, you'll have to do a summer session here. How I look forward to a whole long, lazy summer, just getting reacquainted. It will just be the three of us, you, Bill, and me, because Brooke is going, now don't laugh, grouse shooting in Scotland with Kenneth and his sons.
Coming home was hard for Bridget, as though she had failed a crucial test. She had discovered a taste for living and had many new friends and ties in Europe.
Are you late? Of course you're late.
But Mother, not working, restless and driven, was lonely and wanted her birds in the nest.
Hi. Oh, darling, I woke you up. I'll call you later. I'm sorry. Why do you just lie around all day? Go do something useful. Oh, look at this child. I live in a beautiful house. She lives in a slum. After Europe, it is so provincial here in Connecticut. But most of all, I dislike being alone in the house with Mother. The truth is, I don't love Mother. I hate her.
That's my letter. You had no right.
It was left open. It was left there for me to read, wasn't it? Well, why didn't you seal it up?
You shouldn't have read it. You knew it was private. What were you doing in my room, anyway?
I have respected your privacy as my own. Now I'm beginning to believe I was not acting in your best interest. Bill's penknife his grandfather gave him and a shoe of mine from Voice of the Turtle.
I just wanted him.
You agree it's more than a little bit peculiar? Stealing little bits of people you love.
It's more than I ever had from you.
Bridget, this is nuts! You've been given everything in the world. The best education and excitement and adventure. And whether you know it or not, love. You've made yourself very clear. Not so stupid. You hate me. You want to leave. You want to go live with your father.
Yes.
Bridget's decided to go and live with her father. I suppose you want to go too.
What's Brooke doing?
Brooke, I've had a letter from home from your mother. Seems that your brother and sister have upset her very badly.
They flunked summer school.
No, they say they're going to leave home and live with your father. You know what your mother's like. She's gone off the deep end.
Really done it.
I think we better go home right away.
She looks terrible. Hold me. Hold me.
She left it out for me to see.
You told me, Mother.
No envelope or anything, just lying there open. She must have meant for me to see it, mustn't she?
Come on, sit down. Can I pour you a little sherry, brandy, or something?
No, just a cigarette, just a cigarette. You remember how cross I got when I found those cigarette butts in your desk? Such an uncouth habit. Ashamed of the example I set you. Maybe parents shouldn't be an example. They should be a warning to their children. Does Nan smoke? Nan is a paragon of virtue, at least in Bridget's eyes. The letter said, coming home only served to to underline the contrast between Anne and me. The truth is, I don't love my mother. I hate her. Mother. I don't love my mother. I hate her. That's about as clear a statement as one could ask for, wouldn't you say?
It's just childish. Everybody knows how cruel children can be.
You can't blame them. They're the children. I'm the adult. I'm supposed to cope.
It's Bill.
Oh, good Goby, he's come to collect his things. I have to get myself together.
Here, go on upstairs. Come on, go on upstairs. I'll talk to him. I'll get him, Elizabeth. Come on.
I'll stay with her. Let me know when you think it's all right.
Hi.
Hi, Bill.
Where's Mother?
Upstairs. I told her I'd talk to you.
I only came to get my stuff.
Do you have any idea what this is doing to Mother? Bill, for God's sakes, she looks like she hasn't slept for weeks.
It's not my fault.
The hell it isn't.
It was Bridget. She started it.
You sound about 6 years old. Bridget started it.
Well, she did. The whole thing was her idea. Now that it's done, she draws back in her shell, and I get all the blame.
You're incredibly selfish and stubborn.
I know. It's just that I'd rather live with Father.
Really going, aren't you?
Hey, it's time to leave. I'm miserable and guilty here all the time. She doesn't want to let us grow up. I made a decision. She said she'd change, but I don't trust her. Now I've done this thing, and right or wrong, I'm going to stick by it.
You're deserting me too, you know.
I guess I just assume you'd come with us.
Phil, don't be angry. Don't.
Am I intruding?
No, it's okay.
Oh. Now you'll get much more in there if you don't toss everything in like that, all helter-skelter. You bring what you want and let me arrange it for you, why don't you? You'd be surprised what we can accomplish if we work together. Don't forget to pack summer and winter things both. You know your father. New York 1 minute, California the next. Now, let's be honest, isn't that better? You have room for a raccoon coat in there. If they only had a raccoon coat. Now, my suggestion would be more socks and more underwear. And what about that sweater I gave you last Christmas? Oh, please don't go. Please, Bill. Bill, we can work it all out. We can go away somewhere together for a few days, just the two of us. Don't, Bill. Kick off, maybe? And we can just talk and straighten it all out.
No! It's too late. It's no use. I want to try something else for a while.
No, you don't mean that.
Yes, I do.
No, this was all decided in haste and in anger. I didn't mean to drive you away. Please. I'll do anything you want, only stay. Please. I'll change. Everything will be different. It was all my fault, I know that. For God's sake. Please tell me what to say.
Nothing, Mother. It's too late.
Don't say that. It can't be too late. Don't ever say that. Billy. We can start over.
Okay.
Billy, please.
I said okay.
No.
Mother, let go.
I can't. Please. No.
Frank.
It'll be all right, Mother.
It'll never be all right. It'll never be all right again.
Mother was right. Nothing was ever the same again. Within a short period, she would enter a mental hospital, suffering what was described as serious depression. Within a matter of months after that, my sister would enter the same institution, and my brother would be confined to yet another. Goodbye was to become the most common word in our vocabulary.